So today's video we're going to be turning this buggy into a monster truck with the Injora rock bouncer chassis. So the first thing we're going to do is scoot this out of the way. We're going to build the chassis part. It has a little light bar, that's pretty cool. And I got the red to match the red wheels and the red shocks that are already on the buggy. There's the instruction manual. Not much going on with that, so hopefully this will be pretty straightforward. And it looks like we'll be taking this piece and then this piece and attaching it like so. A bunch of screws. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and attach the top roll bar to it. See, is there a better side to this? I'm going to put the flat side up. What do I mean by the flat side? You can see how that is flat, and then the other side. And then we're going to put the rest of the screws into this. Alright, so now we have that roll top on there. Looks like these. So on one you can see it's just the top and the back. But then on two you see it has the little slide out there, which is this piece. I believe it goes in the back there and then there. So we'll go ahead and screw that in. I'm going to go for this top hole. Start my screw. Then this bottom one, we're going to match that up. And screw it in. Okay, it does look like another screw does go on the front here. But yeah, you see that? I don't know what's going on with that yet. I'm not a big fan of how that sits up like that, but maybe it's supposed to be like that. I would think it's supposed to sit down. But maybe not. Alright, and then it says to... So that's what we have. Move on to doing the other side on there now. I'm going to go ahead and do the top. Now we're going to do the top. I'm just getting these set in there so I have space to move them around. It's always nice to have just a little bit clearer instructions than just pictures that really don't even line up with the screw points. Now let's go back and tighten all these down. Everything looks in place. Still don't like that, but we'll see what happens. So it looks like we have completed that section. So now we're going to go on to adding the light bar and the front. Go ahead and do the front piece a little bit. Okay, now we'll tighten down the top ones all the way. And the bottoms. Now there's a light bar. So we'll just have it in here for now. I'm gonna have to get some really small zip ties. So use the 2 small screws. And we're going to angle it kind of down and try to tighten it up. That's probably going to be pretty bright. Alright, and now we're on to 5, which looks like we're attaching the hood piece. Okay, here's our hood. Looks like it just sits over. Alright, we got the hood on. It would have been nice if these were black screws, black hardware. I think it would have fit just a lot better. So if you're going to build one of these, I would recommend trying to source some black hardware or painting your screws before installing. But now we move on to the, we'll go ahead and do the roof. Alright, the roof is on. It's coming together. Now we'll do the side door. Looks like alright, the driver door is on. So Injora does make another one of these that instead of the Lexan, it is aluminum. So it kind of just give you that little bit of extra weight. It is, I think, $10 more, so it's not too bad, but I was going lightweight is with this one, lightweight monster truck. Alright, passenger side is done. It's all put together. The chassis itself. You see you have your rear shock mounts and your front shock mounts. And then you will have to put in your bottom skid plate motor mount, which could be what some of the extra screws are for. Let's compare it with the other buggy. It is about the same size. This one sticks out just a little bit in the front with that bumper and then the rear tire. But other than that, it looks almost identical. Since we need the skid plate, this one when he made it into the body. So we'll be taking his old one off of the C10 and putting it on this one. Alright. As you can see, it's completely stripped. Of course, a spare tire, but I'm just going to leave that on there. No need for it. We'll put that over to the side. And there we have our axles. Now we'll be putting it onto this guy. And this one does have that, you saw that red motor. It is a 66 turn motor, I believe. Haven't really built too many of these smaller 24s. I believe this is the second one I've completely taken apart and put back together. The other one you have seen, hopefully, my other video of putting the low center gravity chassis on the Ford Bronco. Alright. Got the shocks on it. Now that's left is to put on the monster truck tires. Put the extensions on them. Now it does look like it is going to be a pain in the butt to get the electronics in there. I might be taking out this little section here so that way I can fit the electronics in there better. To remove this, you just got to take this cover off and then those first two screws we put in there and that'll slide out. I might have to upgrade the servo so I can get a longer servo wire. Alright, so I did go ahead and take out the seats. Was able to get the receiver and battery in there because I really wanted to test it out just to see how it works. But getting an upgraded servo will give me longer wires for that servo, so I could put that receiver in the back and then move the battery here in the middle. That'll probably work out a lot better, and then I might be able to put this back in there to kind of hide it. But I mean, you'll still see the receiver sticking out that back end anyway, so I might not put that back in there. Let's go ahead and see how she does. Well, it just fell off the table and the light bar came unstuck. It looks like it just snaps in there, but might need to put some glue in there to keep it in there. These are 3D printed tires. Might see about upgrading them to some actual rubber monster truck tires. Well, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the build. And And just keep an eye out for some updates on it. We'll be taking it out to some actual rocks and just seeing kind of what it does bouncing over some rocks. But till then,